We had a question recently from a viewer about how they should go about servicing their shifters. And it's a really good question because on a road bike, these are probably some of the most complex components that you have. Although, funnily enough, I've been trying to think, and I can't actually remember ever having broken a set of shifters. They are really robust, but that doesn't mean that you should neglect them. So here is how to service your shifters. Now, the first point is that you don't actually have to do all that much. And then when you do something, keep it really simple. Because all we're after is just to flush out any dirt or grit that might have made its way into the shifter, and then any old, contaminated and crusty grease that might have gone solid in there. And so to do that, what we need is ideally an aerosol evaporative degreaser like this one, or if you don't have that knocking around, then a solvent-based lubricant is also going to do the job. We need to remove the lever hood now to get the best access that we can to all the shifter internals. With this SRAM lever, you can actually remove even more of the lever body with just 4 Phillips screws there. But for this, we can do without. Then it's just a case of spraying our degreaser in and flushing out all of the dirt and grit and old grease as well. Don't be shy. There we go. Once you've finished and you're sure that that is clean as a whistle, then just dry it off, mop up any excess, and then simply put some lube on it. So some really lightweight aerosol lube with a bit of PTFE in it. Now, before we put the lever hood back on, it's a good idea just to put a little dab of grease on any moving parts that you can see, particularly on something like this SRAM lever where you've got access to more moving parts. It just gives a little bit more weatherproofing. Now, how often should you do this procedure? Well, of course, it depends on where you ride and how much you ride. But one thing I definitely would say is that you don't want to do this too soon, because if you do, all you're actually really going to be achieving is stripping out the grease that was applied to the shifter in the factory. And once that's gone, then you're going to have to do this procedure far more frequently, because a lightweight lubricant is going to need replacing more often than heavier grease. If the shifter is really stiff to move, then the chances are that it's not the fault of the shifter at all, but is in fact due to seized cables or a seized derailleur. And it's very quick to find out actually what the problem is. All you've got to do is disconnect the cable from the derailleur and then try and shift. If the shifter's still stiff, then it is in fact that's fault. But often the true sign of a broken shifter is one that's lost its clicks. And that'll be, as I said earlier, because it'll be gunked up with old grease or mud. In which case, all you need to do is perform the procedure we've just done, and that is likely to recondition your shifter. Now, one thing I wouldn't recommend is trying to take the internals of the shifters apart. Now, I've never actually had the need to do it, despite having used the same set of shifters for 5 seasons of cyclocross, but I am told that it is really complex. So before setting out on it, you should give plenty of time to doing the procedure that we've just carried out in this video, and in fact checking your manufacturer's warranty just in case your shifters are still covered and they've stopped working. Now, I spoke very briefly about replacing your cables. If you want to know how to do that, if you click just up there, you get through to a video about that. Or to see how to index your gears, which is the other thing that you might blame on your shifter, that you can get through to just down there. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to GCN, just click on the globe, and you'll do it immediately.